You know what? Sometimes it's nice to only have to go see one movie during the week, and I was glad it was this. So when it comes to me and Transformers, I absolutely loved the franchise as a kid. For a while, I was obsessed with it. But the one downside was that I was growing up when the Bay movies were coming out. Yay! I haven't seen any of those movies in years, but I remember really liking the first one, don't remember the second one at all. Dark of the Moon I remember thinking was nah. But Age of Extinction was when I gave up on the franchise because I hated that movie so much, and I saw that when I was like 10. It was so bad that I never even saw the fifth movie. Okay, there were a few other reasons why I didn't see that movie. I just didn't care. There's a smart-ass comment that Michael Bay made where he said, okay, you know the movie's gonna be bad, but you're still gonna go see it. Still haven't seen it. And, I was aware of the aspect ratio constantly doing this. I saw like 5 seconds of the movie, I was like, that will get annoying. But then when I saw Bumblebee in theaters, it brought me back to when I was a kid, because they actually looked like the toys, they were on Cybertron, and it even took place in the 80s. Yeah, it's another kid and their pet robot story, but this was the first one of these movies to have actual heart, characters, and it stayed true to the source material. It was a blast, and it reminded me why I love the franchise. They did also play it a lot safer, but it did actually work a lot better. Except for that one really weird point where the two Decepticons started turning people into jizz. Yeah, remember that?
Hey. Switches in my pants. Switches in my pants.
I like the way they pop.
Either that or I just have a really dirty mind. Probably that. And when it comes to Rise of the Beast, I was really looking forward to it, because I'm always down for a Transformers movie, as long as Michael Bay isn't directing it. This is also the first time to bring in the Maximals from Beast Wars to the big screen, which is a show that I'm aware exists. I know Optimus Primal. That's about it. But I will say that this movie gave me exactly what I expected from it. A fun, entertaining, summer blockbuster. And that's all it needed to be. It's one of those movies where a bunch of characters go around the world looking for a MacGuffin to stop the big bad. It's really nothing you haven't seen before, but it's still a whole lot of fun, which is exactly what Transformers should be. One problem with the Bay movies is that they always focus too much on the human characters, and they would just throw them into the Transformers BS. But here, you actually do care about the human characters, who are likable, and the Transformers get to be the main focus this time. If you're really excited to see this movie because of the Maximals, you're gonna be a little disappointed. I mean, they are in the movie, and they do have enough screen time, but they're not in it as much as you might think. Which is really weird for a movie called Rise of the Beast. But I did like how they also took some elements from the animated movie from the 80s. Actually, is this the first live action movie that RC has been in? Let's hope so. Could you imagine what Michael Bay would have done to that character? Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback do a really good job as our two leads, and the great Peter Cullen is still excellent at voicing Optimus Prime. I thought the humor was very well done. Pete Davidson is in the film voicing Mirage, and I can definitely see people being split on this character. I did like him enough, but his jokes were very hit and miss for me. There is also a lot of great action scenes. The climax is probably the best in any of these live action movies. The CGI is really good, and the cinematography is well done. It was also a great choice to have the last one take place in the 80s when the original cartoon came out, and then have this one take place in the 90s when Beast Wars came out. I don't know if anyone else thought of this, but do you guys realize that this is kind of just Zack Snyder's Justice League with Transformers? You got the good guys looking for a MacGuffin around the world. The bad guy is the minion of the big bad guy. So in Justice League, it was Steppenwolf working for Darkseid. In this, it's Transformers' name I can't remember, working for Unicron. Which, speaking of Unicron, he's in the movie, but not a lot. Like, he's in it less than the Maximals are. Like, 2, maybe 3 scenes. They're very much setting him up for another movie. Even though he's on the poster. There's also this thing that they set up at the end of the movie, like, last second, and I'm like, what? Where did that come from? If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, okay, that's cool, I guess. What? I did have a really good time with this movie, though. If you're a Transformers fan, you're really going to enjoy it. It's exactly what it needed to be, and it was a fun 2-hour distraction. It's not as good as Bumblebee, but it's still one of the best. I'm gonna give Transformers Rise of the Beast a B. And you know what really sucks? That this and Bumblebee came out after the Bay movies, because I feel like those movies put a really bad taste in people's mouths, so they gave up on this franchise. But trust me when I say, this and Bumblebee are actually really good. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell. I'll be back with more reviews very soon. See you then.